Argentina 24, the All Blacks 41. But if you didn't watch this game, that scoreline, that's deceiving. There was no comfortable win for our ABs. They were dragged into a war. And if not for a couple of key moments, we could be talking about the biggest upset in rugby championship history. This wasn't a walkover, it was a survival test. The All Blacks got exposed in ways we haven't seen in years. So let's dive into what went down. Now, welcome back to the channel. I've just witnessed a crazy opener in Cordoba between the RGs and the ABs, and trust me, no bias here. We're breaking it all down, no fluff. We're looking at the chaos, the brilliance, and the controversy, and of course, the brutal truths both teams have to face after this one. So buckle up, this is going to be real. Now let's kick off with the first half. Now the All Blacks came up firing. They were clinical, structured, and looked like they were on another level. And Sevi Reece was electric. He scored 2 tries. While Will Jordan, as always, electric, was slicing through the Pumas defence. And Adi Savia was at the back in his wrecking ball best. And honestly, it looked like our boys were just cruising. By halftime, it was 31-10, and they had the bonus points already in the bag. But Argentina, they were missing tackles, giving away penalties, and looked totally out of it. It seemed like the game was seriously over. But then everything changed. Moving on to the second half, my thoughts. I thought Argentina, they gave us a run for our money. They showed a lot of heart, grit, and you got to give full credit to them. They didn't quit. Felipe Consapomi's men came out with a completely different mindset in the second half. Players like Obonos and Isgro lifted their game. The pack started winning those collisions, and the scrum, which had been under pressure earlier, suddenly started turning the tide. And the All Blacks, on the other hand, completely lost their discipline. 2 yellow cards, multiple breakdown infringements. And at one point, Argentina had the All Blacks on the ropes. Now, the scoreline was 24-31. Just one score game, and the crowd in Cordoba was buzzing. It was electric. Argentina believed, and honestly, they should have. The All Blacks were hanging by a thread, to be quite honest. But then, this is where the All Blacks show their championship DNA. They weren't playing well, but they were rattled. But they found a way to win. And honestly, Tukiaho, when he came on, he saved the day. Tukiaho made a huge difference. 2 tries off the bench when Argentina were really coming for them. The All Blacks turned their set piece. 2 perfectly executed rolling mauls, 2 tries, and suddenly the game was over. And let's be real, without Tukiaho's impact, the All Blacks would have walked out of Cordoba with a far fewer points. But he saved their bacon, no question. And got the victory. Now, onto some key talking points. Now, the discipline for the All Blacks was awful, to be honest. Too many penalties and 2 yellow cards that could have easily cost them the game. I thought Leonard Brown's yellow card was especially questionable. That could have been a red, considering the clear off-ball head-to-head clash, and especially that collision on Coco Barris. It was a big moment, and the All Blacks got lucky here. And then there's Argentina's growth. They've come so far. This isn't a tier 2 team anymore. They've got edge and belief and structure, but they are still missing their that fire and that killing instinct against a top tier team like the All Blacks. But yeah, All Blacks pay for their mistakes, no doubt about it, but they weren't clinical enough. But let's just not kid ourselves. This isn't the All Blacks we're used to seeing. The All Blacks of old would have dominated for the full 80 minutes. But this team, they are surviving. And they've got a lot of flaws right now. If they want to win the championship, they need to figure out how to close out games, not just survive. But bottom line is, my thoughts, in truth, even though Argentina lost, they've got a lot to be proud of. They rattled the All Blacks, that's for sure. They brought their intensity, showed a lot of heart, and played with the big boys. And they cut out penalties and finished their chances. And yeah, it could have been a different story. Imagine Argentina beating us. A tier 1 nation. But yeah, I mean, you got to give credit to them. So much respect to Argentina, and I know they'll come firing in the second test. And the All Blacks, yes, we got the win. Yes, it wasn't the flashiest, but hey, win is a win. Doesn't matter how you win. But to be honest, it was a bit shaky, and it looked lost at times for us. And there were moments when you had no answers, and if we want to win the rugby championship, we cannot afford to play like that in the second half. And we just got exposed, and teams are going to be circling that against us in the fixture on their calendars from here on out. And that scoreline, it flatters the All Blacks, no question. This was a scrap and a survival mission. And yeah, they just managed to get out alive. But yeah, anyways, let me know in the comments below. Were you impressed by the All Blacks' resilience, or worried about how fragile they looked in the second half? So it'd be interesting to hear your thoughts. Comment below. Let's keep the conversation going and be honest. So yeah, there you have it, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe for more rugby content. Keep supporting your rugby teams and keep the rugby spirit alive. And we will see you in the next video.